Greetings, my fellow frilly devotees. Okay, it's been a while since I did a Lolita vlog. Sorry, it's been a while. About 2 weeks ago, I went to Las Vegas to go to a, of all things, Rammstein concert. I love Rammstein. I know I listen to opera, I listen to lots of different music, but I went to a Rammstein concert in Las Vegas. And one of the topics that I wanted to discuss is a Lolita. It's being a Lolita in a hot environment. I was Before I left, I was contemplating meeting up with the Las Vegas Lolitas because I saw that there was a Las Vegas Lolita group, and I was like, oh, I could hang out with them. It'll be awesome because I love meeting Lolitas in different locations because I never know where I'm going to end up. I might end up in Japan, for example. Although I'm kind of nervous to meet those Lolitas. I heard they were really nice, but there's a long, not nice story attached to the whole Japan thing. Maybe if I was in like meeting Osaka, Lolitas in Osaka, just not the Lolitas in Tokyo. There's a reason. I won't get into my reason, but it's a reason I won't meet them. But I might end up in Japan. I might end up in Germany. I might end up in like Las Vegas. I might end up in San Francisco. I might end up in New York. I used to live in Philadelphia, so I occasionally, when I get back and if they're having a meetup, I'll try to meet up with some of the Philadelphia Lolitas. So I could end up anywhere in the world, and I would like to meet Lolitas. True story, when I was in Denver, my husband and I went to Denver 2 years ago to look for land to buy to build a house in the future. And I met a girl at all places, Dave and Buster's. She was wearing AP's Crystal Dream Carnival, and I was like, oh, it's a Lolita, I have to talk to her. So I ran over and we had a little chat, and yeah, so you never know. I never know where I'm going to end up, and I'd like to meet a bunch of Lolitas so I can have an already built-in base if in fact I'm going to be there, wherever there is, for an extended amount of time. So with that being said, I was going to meet up with the Las Vegas Lolita group, and in a way I'm very happy I didn't do that because it was 750 billion degrees outdoors, and it was horrifying and wrong and roasting and just unfucking pleasant. I mean, not to be cursing, but it was just unpleasant. Unpleasant did not cover what it was. It was bad. So it was super ass hot. And if for those of you who don't know, if you're just new to the fashion, you are heavily layered when you wear Lolita. Currently, I am wearing my Kidsyoyo. I know it's like really glary and you can't see, but I'm wearing my Kidsyoyo JSK today. If I was wearing this to a meetup, I would have underneath this, I actually don't have a petticoat on because I'm sitting down and you're never going to see that I don't have a petticoat on. But I'm supposed to have a petticoat on. This particular dress is real frumpy with just two underskirts. So I'm under what I call the trifecta of petticoats. So I'm under my three. And that gets to be real hot. I am wearing knee socks, over the knee socks today. These are cotton. These are my I had bought these like a million years ago. My Metamorphose over the knee Rochelle lace knee socks. Technically they're supposed to be over the knee. My knees are too pudgy, so they're just regular knee socks. So yeah. So you're under that. Have a blouse on, a JSK, three underskirts. Just imagine socks that are cotton, and it's hot. It's just so hot. And if you're a Lolita in a hot climate, I guess the best thing to do is to either table meetups for when the weather gets to be more pleasant, or have meetups indoors. That's the biggest thing. You could also stay hydrated because it's hot. If you don't stay hydrated, and I don't mean with tea. Yes, we all love a good tea party, but you gotta drink water to stay hydrated. Like, I can only imagine in Las Vegas, you must be drinking water by the gallons because it is that goddamn hot. It was so fucking roasty. What the fuck? Say hi so I know it's somebody just texted me some shit on Twitter. I gotta deal with that later. But and I have my tablet because I gotta talk about some stuff. But yeah, it's you gotta stay hydrated with water. Tea, we love tea. I love a good tea party, but water you need and just by the gallon. Water must it just must I don't even know. It was so hot and so unpleasant. So I'm as much as I would have loved to have met the Las Vegas Lolita community, I can't imagine what you guys go through because it like Las Vegas, like anywhere in Arizona or New Mexico. I was bitching and moaning. I be bitching and moaning here in Tampa. Like, oh my God, it's too hot. I don't even know. I don't know why my life is like this. I have not really complained about the heat since I got back from Las Vegas because it's relative. I swear to God, when we walked outside the first day, the heat just knocked me to my ass. And I was just like, oh my God. And the first thing I thought was, I'm so glad I didn't bring Lolita because to be under, even in my lightest outfit, which is currently Kingdom of the Fairies by y'all saw me do that unboxing. Even in that, I would have burst into flames. I'd have been walking around in Lolita and just exploded. I would have just spontaneously combusted and it would have just been sad. And they would be like, damn, that chick just blew up. Y'all see that frilly girl? She just blew the fuck up. We don't know what happened. So yeah, that would have been me. And I'm glad it wasn't me because it was unbearable. But those are my tips. Like, seriously, if you somewhere where it's hot, and I mean above 85, which for me, hot is anything past 75. But if it's anything past 85, indoor meetups are your friend. No picnics. I know it's like picnic weather and whatever. Kind of not so much here in Florida. We're in rainy season. But there's no picnics. No indoor meetups. Or do it when it's cool. This would be a prime time to have, like, if you have, like, a lot of Lolitas that are 21 and over, this would be a prime time to have nighttime Lolita 21 and up events. Sorry for people who aren't 21 and up, but I'm saying, that'd be, like, the nighttime Lolita drunken spree of drunken craziness. That'd be the best time to throw that out there. And then, just water. Like, if you can get, like, the what is it called, mainlining water. I mean, not to endorse something awful, but I'm saying drink so much water that like your kidneys explode because it's just was on fire out there, and I'm just like, no, never again. So the concert was good at least, but I'm saying never again. I don't know. I take my bow off to you Lolitas off in the midst of Las Vegas or anywhere in an arid desert hot ass climate, because man, y'all put up with a lot and I commend you. I have, like I said, I've not complained about the heat here since, so it'll come a point where I'll forget about that heat probably in a while, but no, that's why my Lolita group, we always do stuff. We do stuff indoors. And like I said, for us, it's rainy season. So, like, one minute you be sitting outside wondering, hey, what's going on? Looking at people. And next thing you know, it would be like sheets of rain coming down. So, that's not going to work. It's going to mess up your outfit. So, but indoors, drink lots of water and try to stay cool. My husband had this wild ass idea. He was like, well, firefighters have like these tubes in their stuff to keep them cool, and it's got cooling water and cooling fluid through it, and that's what keeps them cool when they're fighting fires. Maybe they should have Lolita dresses like that. And I just looked at my husband like, husband, unless you're putting that in like a one piece and making it cute, nobody's doing that. He was like, but it'll keep you cool. And I was just like, husband, I love you, but you need to stop. So if somebody wants to take that on as a project, be my guest, but no Lolita's rocking that. So my next topic is, there is something going around Twitter that has like intrigued me for the last couple of days. I want to pause a second because I gotta backpedal on two things. Not backpedal, but I gotta go back and look at two things. Hang on just a sec. It took me a little bit to find this, but remember 2 months ago, or like actually longer than that. Several months ago, not even several, maybe about March was when this news broke that Gothic Lolita Bible was no more. May was their last issue, and everybody was sad. And then I started talking about girlism. So, lo and behold, after that fallout, that would be approximately 3 months later, there is a new Japanese, I'm not going to say it's a Gothic Lolita magazine, and I'll tell you why in a second, but there's a new, quote, Gothic Lolita Heart Kawaii, because that's the only thing I can read in English besides the name. But the name of the magazine is called Melt. Sorry, you know how I am about not getting stuff properly together, but it's called Melt. And I started following them because I saw Baby the Starshine Bright, who I follow on Twitter, had stuff up about Melt. Mom had stuff about Melt going around, and like all these places had stuff about Melt going around, and I was like, what the fuck is Melt? So I looked into it, and it's a Japanese magazine. That's a new Japanese, I'm hesitant to say Japanese Gothic Lolita magazine, even though they're saying Gothic Lolita. I am hesitant to call it that because on the cover they were talking about Atelier Boz, or I guess it's Altar Boys. I don't know. Angelic Pretty, Triple Fortune, Baby the Starshine Bright, all the hard, heavy hitters for Lolita. Metamorphose, Temps to Fille, My Maximum. And at the last one is something called, I love this name too, Drug Honey. The name of the brand is called Drug Honey. Now, see if you can't see that. Go and clear out. Yeah, it's blurry, but I see Drug Honey sitting there. Drug Honey. Okay, so I started dying as soon as I saw the name Drug Honey. I was on the floor. I was done. I was laughing. I had a good 10-minute laugh, and then when I pulled my life together, I went to go look up to see what the hell Drug Honey was. Drug Honey is a punk brand. So, and I looked at their clothes. It's like punk, real punk-esque. So if you loving you some punk, like you're like a part-time Lolita or like a most of the time Lolita, you just love you some frills, but every now and then you want to just rock out. That's Drug Honey is your ticket, although it was not looking like they had favorable sizing if you're a bigger, like, wanting to be in the punk look. But it was heavily punk-esque, like, way punk-esque. And, yeah, so I'm thinking, while it may be, the cover says Lolita, or whatever. Yeah, the cover says Lolita, but you got Drug Honey in there, so I'm thinking it's mostly gonna focus on Gothic Lolita stuff, and then it might devote like a couple pages or whatever to alternative Japanese fashions, like punk look and I don't know, whatever K is going around, Fairy K, Mori K, Mori girl. Well, I don't know any of the other fashions of Gothic Lolita. If you're looking for information on that, I am not the person to ask. If you want to know about Lolita, I can tell you all about that. But Mori girl and all them other girls that be going around, I don't know anything about that. So, but it's interesting that like Gothic Lolita Bible folds, and then not nearly 2 months later, Milk comes in and scoops up the scene. So we'll have to see what this is talking. And I was just like, wow. In the interim, girlism. Hang on, I gotta go back. Girlism is still crushing it. Girlism. This is their little tweet they had going around today. I still am interested in getting copies of Girlism. I just got to figure out where and how to pull up copies of that, because that magazine is mondo ass hot, and I really, really, really want to get into it. And plus, they cover all the Taobao brands, so, or at least most of the Taobao brands. So I am extremely interested in getting a copy of Girlism. I'd be interested in getting a copy of Melt too, just to see what it was all about. But mostly, I'm interested in getting into Girlism, because some of the photo snaps from that were just next level of gorgeous. So I don't know. So you now have two options. If you were feeling like, you have two options. I think you always had two options, because I think I have but I think I had like, let me see if I can find it. Sorry to pause again, but let me see if I can find it. Sorry about pausing again, but this was my last Gothic Lolita Bible I picked up when I was in Japan. It's probably the most recent one I have owned. But way back in the day, because this is volume 8, and I don't know if this magazine is still going on. I don't even know what this magazine is called. But this is volume 8 of whatever this magazine was. So, and this had, but as I'm thumbing through it, the back is primarily patterns for stuff. I don't know if you've seen it really clearly, but yeah, you can see it clearly. The back of this was mostly patterns. Yeah, like a coat, a blouse, I don't even know. So, but they did have spreads of stuff that was, whoo, this is ancient. Oh my God, Lolita don't even look like this no more. But, yeah, there was this magazine. I don't know if this is still up and kicking, but there was that. So you always kind of had two. It's just that mostly everybody ended up scooping up a copy of Gothic Lolita Bible. But now you have Girlism, which is the Chinese one, and you have Melt, which is a new Japanese. I'm assuming it's going to be focusing on Lolita, but it's also going to be focusing on other stuff. So you have those as an option to you now. So there's that, and there you go. Lastly, I want to try to keep it short, but I saw something going around. I had seen this going around for a while too. That and I really feel kind of hesitant to speak on it, but there's like been some controversy with Ruffle Con and Simplicity, and the allegation that Simplicity had gone to Ruffle Con because it was one of their primary sponsors and was buying stuff from vendors who just make Lolita products and stuff, and taking them apart, reverse engineering to get the pattern off of it. Man, this is like a hot button issue. Basically, I'm going to boil it down that Ruffle Con put out a statement that they had spoken personally with Simplicity, and they thought it would be in everybody's best interest is if Simplicity did not return. Man, this is such a hot button issue. This is almost akin to politics. You don't discuss politics or religion in an open venue. I mean, some people do, but I'm not one of those people. But, yeah, so they put out a statement, and they also said Ruffle Con also said within that statement that they are losing their biggest financial contributor, and they didn't know if they had the means to be able to, not have the convention, because I'm sure they're going to have it, but maybe not be as grand as it was. Man, I don't know if any of these allegations are true. Ruffle Con encouraged people that had been adversely affected by this to speak with Simplicity personally. But of course, within that, you have people throwing death threats around. Why the fuck is that everybody's default? That when somebody doesn't like something, the first thing is, I'm going to kill you. First of all, that's not mature. Second of all, you are putting yourself on all kinds of watch lists by the government. And 3, like, that's a felony to throw out death threats. It's an actual felony, hence why I said you're going to be on all kinds of watch lists. It's not that I'm paranoid. It's a felony. You don't do those things. You might disagree wholeheartedly. Something might make you angry, but your default shouldn't be, I'm going to fucking kill you. Come on. Where is your sense of self-control, self-preservation, self-respect? I don't know. So, like, you were talking to a woman I do sell occasionally. This little fake veil thing I made, I don't know what I was trying to do with it. I found it and I was like, oh, this is cute, let me see what I can do with it. And then it was like, the way it's sewed, I was just like, well, I'll just use a little fake veil for today. But it's like, dude, why would you take somebody's stuff, reverse engineer it without their permission, and then put it out? And the thing is, I have this Simplicity Lolita pattern. I hate to pause for a third time, but let me show you this Simplicity Lolita pattern. It is insanity. Hold on. Oh my god. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. Somebody had somebody coming over and the dog went bananas. So sorry to double pause on you. But this is the Simplicity pattern in question. That not the pattern that was allegedly reverse, pardon me, engineered, but this pattern. This came out right after they started supporting Ruffle Con. I don't know what this is, but this is not Lolita. It's like an amateurish attempt at Lolita. And I bought it because I figured I could get like a underskirt pattern, if not for anything, out of this. Because I want to start making my own underskirts. I don't know. Like I said, this is such a hot button issue, and it's pretty much been resolved. I feel bad for RuffleCon that they had to kind of get rid of their biggest financial backer, because that's going to make the convention. I've always wanted to go to RuffleCon. I just hear it's way too expensive. This is not going to help the expense portion of this now. But like, I don't know. I always wanted to go to RuffleCon, and now that they've had to get rid of their biggest financial backer, I'm just kind of like, well, damn. I don't know who's in the wrong here. I don't blame RuffleCon, because you can't stop somebody from purchasing something from somebody else's table and reverse engineering it. It's not the con's fault. They were just being a con. That's like saying, well, I don't know what it's like saying. I don't even have a good analogy for it. But you can't blame the convention for something an individual company has done. Yes, they were their biggest financial backer, but it wasn't the con saying, hey, go over there and swipe them people's stuff. It's going to be amazing if you do. So, I don't know. I just feel bad by all the parties affected, but damn. We'll have to see how this shakes out at RuffleCon, and I won't be able to go because I'm too poor to go. I have approximately $3 in my life right now. $3. So, I'm trying not going nowhere for a minute. So, but, yeah. Oh my God. So, those are all the topics I have. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. I was supposed to do it last Friday when I was talking about Castlevania, but Castlevania just overtook my life, and I was just gone. And unfortunately, my Lolita vlogs are going to be very far and few in between, because I don't really have a whole hell of a lot of topics unless some controversy pops up. And that was some controversy that popped up. I needed to talk about being in hot weather. And then this new magazine thing just really was like, okay, let me get off the pot and do some Lolita vlog today. So, but they're going to be very intermittent, and I apologize. I know a lot of people are like, where are you, Oojia? Like, I'm sorry. So, I can't talk about Lolita every week. It's not, like, it's not, for me, I love Lolita, don't get me wrong, and it is popping like that, but unless I have an exact topic, I don't want to ramble at you all for 20 damn minutes. That doesn't make any sense. So, I'm only going to do it when I have interesting things to talk about. So, that is all I have for today, and I'm probably going to do a general vlog, which nobody watches but me, but that's okay. I'm not begging anybody to watch that. That's fine if you don't, but that's all I have for Lolita stuff, and I will see y'all when I see you, okay?